Grand Rising Cosmic Family. So, this video is centered on the theme of recognizing and acknowledging the attributes and the character traits that you once viewed as a weakness and acknowledging it as a strength. So, for me, it's actually, a few of those, but we ain't gonna get into that. We just gonna speak on the one that is on my heart to speak about right now, and that is having a filter when I speak. Like when I was a kid, I had no filter when I spoke, but as I grew up, I started to have this filter, and I used to look at it as a weakness because I would look at other people and I would feel like they just didn't give a fuck about what they said. But me personally, like I would think about shit like 15, 11 times in my mind about how some shit would affect another person. You feel me? And it hurt me, you feel me? Because it can go either way. You know what I mean? So it's bad when you give too much of a fuck, but it's like really good once you're in a balanced state. So back at when I was growing up and shit as a teenager, I was like overly nice. You know what I mean? Overly nice. You know what I mean? Like say 12, some shit like that around there. I was overly nice and I had a filter at that point over like my mouth and shit, and like I just thought about what I said and how it would affect other people. So, but I thought about shit too much because once again, I was too much on that nice side of the scale to the point where I would silence my own voice, you feel me, on things that would actually better my situation or better certain experiences that I've dealt with, that I was dealing with other people, because I felt like what I would have said would have rubbed somebody the wrong way. Now I'm not like that, you feel me? But I still have a filter, you know what I'm saying? Filtering out what I eventually say or don't say. You know what I mean? And that is actually a very positive thing to have a filter, because it shows that you give a fuck enough, to not want to just hurt people's feelings. You got some people that genuinely just don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? You have some that really do give a fuck, but they want to show motherfuckers that they don't give a fuck, so they just disregard people's feelings intentionally. Me, I even had a place where I get into this place, this destination of being balanced, took a lot of time, self observations, and experimentation with my character. You feel me? With like myself and how I move, with certain people. So it took a lot for me to get to this balanced place, because I had moments where I was in that category of really caring about how what I did affected people, but I just really just did not like that character trait about myself so much to the point where I would intentionally just say some shit that I know will rub motherfuckers the wrong way, just to prove to myself that I don't care what people think, when it come to me. You feel me? And that was not right. You feel me? And I take accountability with that. But that's just to tell you that this place of balancedness, being balanced and centered, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still working on being even more balanced and more centered in working with those character traits and making sure that they work not only for other people, but for myself as well. You know what I mean? And it took a while for me to get there. So I just said that to tell you that it has been a journey to get to this balanced place. So right now, I still have that filter, and I look at it as a positive more so than a negative, because it helped me to ensure that I'm not damaging other people, unnecessarily. Like if I gotta damage somebody, you feel me, to protect myself, and I feel like that's the righteous thing to do in that moment for me, that's what the fuck is going to happen now. You know what I mean? But like back then, I would have just sat down, bit my tongue, and wouldn't have said shit, and would have just been suffering in silence because I was being overly fucking nice and overly concerned about other people's feelings over myself. But you have to go through something to get to something. You know what I'm saying? And that has led me to this journey of being balanced. So I can go either way. So now my filtering has turned from a weakness to a weapon, and now to a strength and an asset. Because at first, it was a weakness. You know what I'm saying? Just hurting myself to appease the other people and to please other people. And then it turned into a weapon where I was proving to myself that I didn't give a fuck, where I was just damaging people unnecessarily just to prove to myself that I don't give a fuck about how what I do could affect other people. And now it is a asset and a strength where I can be smart about, certain words and certain ways that I move to the point where I can protect my energy and protect myself and express myself healthily while still, ensuring that I don't ruffle too many feathers. Now, some feathers may get ruffled because people are who they are, and people can take whatever the fuck you say, however the fuck they want to take it. You feel me? You could say some shit that's not that offensive or that you feel is not that offensive for real, and they could just take that shit and on a whole nother level. That's just offensive as fuck to them. You know what I mean? And that part is not in my control. That part is not my concern. And that part is, it don't have shit to do with me. You feel me? I did my part. I made sure I was spoken up for, made sure I was expressed. You took it how you took it. If it's a conversation you want to have, we can have a conversation. But at the end of the day, I am now at a place where I am, concerned not only just about other people, but now I am also concerned about myself and how holding back certain things can affect me. You know what I'm saying? And how expressing myself can affect other people and express and affect me at the same time. Now, I hope to get better with this because I still have some growing room. Because I still have moments where, I would let some shit ride or let some shit slide. Eventually, I'll come back to it now and I'll address the shit. But I'm getting into the point, like, I am working towards being able to address shit right when the shit happens. So I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do address shit when it happens, but there are some times where I would just call myself letting shit slide and I wouldn't address shit in the moment. So then I'll probably adjust the shit like an hour later or 2 hours later just to get it off my chest. And guess what? That's fine. I know I could have said it in that moment, but guess what? I chose to not say it in that moment. And yes, it may come off as selfish or unfair because I had that moment to express myself. But guess what? It may be 2 days. It may even be a day later. Okay. But you don't have to listen to me, but I'm going to express my fucking self. I know I should have expressed myself earlier when it happened in that moment, but I'm working on myself and I'm working towards that. So if I come to you and I'm addressing some shit 2 hours, 3 hours, a day later, you can either receive that shit or don't, but I'm addressing that shit to you and I'm getting that shit off my chest. It may seem selfish, but guess what? I don't give a fuck because I was concerned about you in that moment. So now a day later, when I'm choosing to be concerned about myself and I'm choosing to address the situation, that's when I'm going to do that shit. Ain't no, oh, you should have did it in that moment. You're right. I should have, but I didn't. But I still got that feeling on my chest that I got to get off. So you either going to receive this shit or don't. But I'm expressing that shit. Whether it's 2 days later after the situation happened, a day later, or hours later. So, point is, it has been a journey to get to this point, and I am still on a journey to perfect this craft of being in a balanced space and perfecting the art of expressing myself and while being concerned about not just other people but myself as well. Because my goal, like what I want to do with this shit, is to be able to check and address shit in the moment every time. Because I do address shit in the moment a lot, but there are some times where that shit just go to the wayside and I don't address that shit until later. But I do address the shit. But it's better than what I used to do. I used to just let the shit slide completely. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on myself and I'm learning. And I really hope this video really did touch you and help you with, your own shortcomings, what you viewed as your shortcomings. And it really helped you to get into a place of being able to master that shit and master yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope this video of me speaking on my personal experiences and my destination where I'm at right now, which is a balance, a more balanced place, because I'm not completely balanced. I'm working on that, but a more balanced place than where I was in the past. You know, hopefully this video really does help whoever is watching it. So I don't got too much to say on this. You know, just be patient with yourself, be honest with yourself, and do not run from yourself. Because when all this shit is over, all you have is yourself for real. You feel me? You came in this world by yourself for the most part. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna leave this world by yourself. For the most part. Not entirely, but you know, for the most part, yeah. So, yeah. So hopefully this video helped, you know what I'm saying? Like my truth, and hopefully this honest truth of mine really helped to jumpstart you on your journey, or to even help you to fine tune where you are on your journey, or to even just help you to appreciate how far you have come on your journey. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, gotta help each other to be better, man. You know, each one teach one, reach one, teach one, however it goes. That's how I go. But peace in.